To do a good wash process, the key element is cleanliness. That's why a method is going to help us clean the machine, remove old beans, and make sure that everything is clean and shiny. Another key element in processing is having the best cherries. For example, we already floated these cherries and we are ready to process them. So as soon as Ameta finishes washing the machine, we are going to put the clean cherries into the hopper and start pulping. In washed is the longest processing method, but is the one that ensures the cleanest taste. So that's why it's important to have clean equipment, clean cherries, and do a good pulp. It's important that your machine is calibrated and that your beans are properly pulped and into the bucket. Once the pulp is finished, we're going to take all of these beans and take them to ferment. In fermentation, we want to use a clean and cool space because we want to ferment overnight as the temperature will drop. Fermentation is important because it will add flavors. That's why we're going to take these cherries to ferment in a cool space. For fermentation, it's really important to have it in a cool and dry space, such as this one that is really clean, as you can see, and we can check that the temperature is around 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. The best thing is that we will be back in 14 hours. 14 hours have passed and we are in a still cool and dry area. You can check the temperature and tell me how it is. We have a temperature around 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. So it's really what is really good. Yep. We wanted a good fermentation. So when you know that it's a good fermentation, it smells nice and smells like sweet.
Really good.
When fermentation has passed fast or has been done on a really hot space, it will start to feel really harsh or really pungent. That's why cool and dry areas are the best areas to ferment. Also, when we can check the fermentation is by rubbing the beans. If it feels rough enough, then the beans are ready to be washed. And that's why we're going to do a 3-step washing. And so step 1, we're going to use fresh water and we're going to put it into the fermentation tank. We're going to rub the beans for around 10 minutes. And we're going to rinse this water out. This water is going to have a lot of mucilage, so it's going to be really sticky and heavy. After that, we're going to go to step 2. We're going to put more water, fresh water, and rinse it again. We're going to wash it for another 10 minutes until we remove all of the mucilage that was stuck. When we clean and rinse this water out, we're going to step 3. And we put the last amount of water, fresh water, and put a little bit more. In this step, we're going to rinse it and rub it for another 10 minutes. And what we want is going to put more water because we're going to remove the beans that float. And now we're ready to rinse this water out and take it back to the drying area. Drying washed is part of the easiest steps, but you have to be very careful to dry just the humidity content outside the washed coffee, and afterwards you have to put it in a thicker layers so you can slow down the process. You don't want to dry it too fast because then you're going to burst all of the parchment, and that will kill the embryo, which means the coffee won't taste that good. In here we have an example of wild pulp coffee that is from the ripest cherries possible. So you can see that it's really clean parchment. As well, we have regular parchment or underpicked, and you see that the underripe cherries don't pulp that easily. That's why you have a lot of skins and pulp on the mass. And finally, you have all of the floaters, which don't look that great. That's why you have to classify your coffee and always If you process the best cherries, you will have the best parchment.